games.
Yeah, I mean, Game 5 is always awesome to see, right? Like, people fighting it out. But Divine's getting China, and obviously Crackedy here, that's kind of like his signature civ, so it's a little bit interesting that Divine got it?
Yeah, well, I'm betting Crackedy might have chosen
Malians?
Malians, so and that's probably when Divine stole that China. Sorry, 1 second.
What's up, Anatan? How's your games? You scare me, man.
Okay.
And China versus Abbasid, that's kind of like an El Clasico. Like, this is a matchup you kind of see a shit ton because of Lipany, like, it's just kind of a civ matchup that they're both pretty good on a certain map, you know?
I'd be curious, like, yeah, who would you favor in this matchup? Like, I feel like it can go either way. It just feels like a close matchup to me. But I'd
I
be curious what
mean,
you
you know
think.
what I'm gonna say, but I mean, I'm sorry I favor China, just because I think China is faster paced than Abbasid. I think Abbasid, once they hit like late Castle Age, kind of have an advantage, but you kind of have to push that because if you get into the late game, I still think China has that advantage.
I do think I favor China late game for sure. With Fire Lancers and all that stuff, it just China late game feels very like whenever I face China against Imperial Age, it just feels like oh man. And then their Feudal Age is pretty strong too, right? You know they have the Zugu push they can do, which is
Hmm.
very scary to face off against.
No, for sure. I remember playing against Muslim, and it was this matchup. He was playing China, I was playing Abbasid, and he did the Zuganu push, and I defended, and then he just aged up super quick, and I tried to age up just as quick, but obviously Abbasid takes not it takes like 2 minutes, right? And China can do it in like 10 seconds. So there's a scary point there where they have armored units and you don't.
Yeah, that is the scary thing about that Zugu push. Yeah, because unless you like absolutely destroy it, like very clean, uh, China can easily just go Castle Age afterwards because they have that song Dynasty behind it, so it's not like they're really falling behind on villagers that much.
No, for sure.
But both, I mean, both these civs, both these okay, I don't know as much about Crackedy, but I know Divine, very passive player. He likes to play the long game. He's a very macro, get those town centers. Like I'm expecting 3 town center song Dynasty from Divine, even though you would never see that really from any other player.
Yeah. This is an interesting build Crackedy here is doing. He's doing a quick age up and then he's chopping the shadow tree after. Maybe that is good with the mill on the berries. And it's not something I've done before though.
Oh, it is interesting. Yeah, actually, I think I saw someone in last in the qualifiers. I think they did something similar with Abbasid. They went for the straggler trees, and I believe they even got their second TC off the straggler trees, but I might be remembering incorrectly.
I've been trying getting like doing the China, not the China trick, but you know, chopping the shadow trees and then building the mill with the 50 wood, as Abbasid. But I haven't done chop the shadow trees after. But it both seems okay. Both probably fine, you know.
Yeah, so not really seeing anything too unusual. Divine still hasn't actually started his age up yet, but there we go.
I also wonder what's better with China. I've been playing China a decent bit, obviously, and you can do the chop and then the same thing as China, right? But do you go for the village or the house? Because obviously the village is better, like more efficient, and, like a couple minutes down in the game. But if you go for the house, you can build the rumble camp immediately and start getting tax on it.
Yeah, I think it's better to go for the village. But then I say that and I'm like, wait, I don't do that when I play China though. I think I usually make a house and I add a village later, but I can't remember. That's a good question. I don't have the answer.
Maybe
I'm,
Puppy Paw or Core China Chads could answer our question.
yeah, the China Chads.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Crackedy has pretty clean China build orders usually.
Okay. Crackety here goes for the Eco Wing. There's no surprise there. Savine goes for Imperial Academy. Everything's pretty standard at the moment, I think.
Yep, we do see the stone coming out for Crackedy. I'm imagining he's gonna go at least 3 TC.
Oh yeah, I think 4TC is even more popular with the new like before you would go 3TC, but with the new Fellow Crescent, kind of incentivizes you to even go more TCs, right?
Yeah, especially against China, because you know their 2 TC song is, I think it's identical to 3 town centers, but you know, so it takes a lot of food. So China usually doesn't age up super quickly after, you know, getting that second TC song dynasty start. And it looks like we're about to have Golden Age finish for Crackedy here. I'm assuming once his house is finished, he should have enough buildings, if I'm not mistaken. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know why Divine has so many villages on gold. I think as China, this is probably a good point to take it off. You have your both. I mean, you have two landmarks, right? You want to put people on stone.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing that. Well, he's putting them all to wood. Interesting. Is
Does he want
Divine
Rio?
gonna do a Zugu push? Is he not gonna go? I mean, I can't see. Okay, there we go. He's going to stone now. I was like, there's no way. I've seen Divine play. He always goes for the, you know, he loves the TC plays, and I know he's been practicing a bit of China lately, and I've been seeing him do 3 town center song dynasty, so that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting as well, but Divine does go for the wheelbarrow. That's gonna delay him a bit on his second TC. Maybe not that much, but Crackedy is already building a second TC. I guess it's the opposite. It's not as good as China, but still.
I mean, I know normally that you'll see China, you know, they normally don't get their second TC. I think the fastest I've seen was like 6:30, 6:40. Obviously, Divine's is going to be quite a bit later than that, but probably will be, you know, 7:15. Also,
Yeah,
is that me or is that mining camp off of? No, never mind. It's fine. I thought it was off a tile, but I think it is, or is it? I don't know.
I think it's off a tile. I mean, maybe one tile.
Yeah, I think it is off a tile, but
Is it for the influence? I don't think it. No, there's no way it reaches that far. I think it's just
I
just
think
off.
yeah, I think he's just off a little bit. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It like doesn't look like it is, but then it looks like it is at the same time. Maybe it's just
I
because
mean,
it's on
either
the.
way,
It's probably because it's on the corner. Ah, and there we go. Second TC coming down at 7 minutes, and okay, Divine was gathering extra stone, and I really am expecting 3 TC song.
that is a pretty decent second TC timing considering you got wheelbarrow, right? And I mean, building the TC beside the stone, yeah, I mean, I do expect 3 TC song from that as well. Yep, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yep, I'm not surprised. This is what I'd expect. Now the question is, are we going to see 4 TC from? I'm assuming so. I feel like Cracky's going to, you know, should see this and go, okay, I'll go 4 TCs, or maybe he even goes 5.
And Crackedy, look at these TC placements by Crackedy. I mean, that, I don't know about that. Like, that TC is just kind of random, I think.
I wonder
Not a
if
big fan
he's.
of it,
Do
but
you think it's possible he's putting it there just so he can get those villagers back on stone and then get that 4th town center?
it's possible, but I think that's what, shouldn't you kind of do that with your second TC and then just rally them and then you can kind of move around with your, I mean, I don't know. The way I prefer to do it is put your second TC on stone, put your third on like berries, and then your fourth on like gold, so you can start walking towards nature.
Yeah, there's that 3rd TC song coming down for Divine. Again, as I expected, I would expect nothing less from Divine. He loves his 3 town center plays with English. I don't know if he does it with French, but I am not surprised at all to see this.
So how many TCs is this? 3 TC song?
I think it's equivalent to 4, 4.5, something like that. I think it's 4, or 4 point something maybe.
Thought
I
it was
can't
like
remember.
5, no?
I don't think it's 5.
Oh. Oh, China sucks then.
Yeah. I think it's equivalent to, let's see, 2 town centers I believe is 3, so I would assume 3 would be 4.5 or something maybe. Not sure. I'll let someone else to do the science behind that.
Okay, well if 2 TC China is almost 3 TC other civs, then there's no way that 3 TC China is 3.75. Really? 3 TC China is 3.75? That
Yeah, that is
Same
lower than
back
I
row.
thought. Oh, we have the 4th TC coming down, and I'm guessing we're not going to see a 5th.
2TC China isn't 3TC, other Civ? Oh. Well, whatever.
Yeah, either way, we already kind of expect. I mean, this is going how we'd expect. Crackedy's actually about to go Castle Age, whereas Divine is
Yes.
a little bit more behind.
And look at the Vills. I mean, Avery points out a good point. Crackedy Hero's at 48 and Divine is at 55.
I
That's
mean,
a decent bit ahead.
yeah, but that's not too surprising. By the time 3rd TC came down for Crackedy, Divine had been on his 3 TC for a while, or not a while, but a little bit. And you got to remember, it's also with Song too. So even when they were on even TCs, that's Song Dynasty TCs. Okay, so no, 3 TCs is equivalent to 4, by the way.
Okay. And Crackedy Hero's aging up with the military wing. I think military wing is a good option here, especially if you want to fight a shit ton in H3, which versus China you probably will have to.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect that. Yeah, that's what I'd expect, right? Military wing. It's very common for the Castle Age. I feel like Culture Wing. I just feel like it's better in the. I mean, you can do it in Castle Age, but I feel like it's just better to have it for Imperial Age.
Um,
But
well, I
that's
think
just me. That's just me. You're the Abbasid expert.
well, no, but I do think I think Culture Age is good and you want to have it in the Castle Age, but military wing kind of just offers a shit ton. Like you're gonna be building so many units and you know, with the boot camp and the composite belts, you just get so much value from that.
I just want to say it's funny. Crackedy started his Castle Age like a minute before Divine, and then Divine starts it and just finishes well before Crackedy does. China,
Oh,
man.
China, you gotta love it, man. Gotta love
Yeah, and he's going for his tier. Yeah, and Divine's going for his tier 2 upgrades on pretty much everything.
it. And look at these walls coming on the side. I mean, it's definitely good. I mean, this is almost no reason not to, right?
I hate it.
Yeah,
I
well,
hate it.
you may hate it, but it's sadly like the good thing to do, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, are they just gonna go straight Imperial at this point? I mean, if you look at the military, it's 5-0. We do see a stable we do see a stable out for Crackedy, and Moss coming out as well. But
And something like, what do you build here as China? I'm honestly curious because I'm not sure what the best. Do you just go palace codes?
that's actually a good question. I don't. I just don't play enough China to where I know. I feel like I never know what unit composition to go, but I mean, Palace Guards and maybe Crossbows is the way to go.
Cavalry says keeps. Yes, keeps. Building keeps. That's yes. I think palace codes is the way, but I'm not. I mean, I don't play enough China either to know.
Yeah, we do see a first Lancer coming out. First Monk from Crackedy.
I find
And
it so funny that. Sorry,
oh no,
I just find it so funny. Divine built his two walls just behind the relic on the south side.
he wanted to make sure Crackedy could get it. He was like, you know what? You can have that one, Crackedy.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
The nice thing is, though, is China, right? This map has 4 boars, and he has a nice safe boar at the bottom right-hand side that he could take. I don't think he's going to, but it is something he could have done.
Yeah, these bullets definitely make this map pretty good for China, right? Like you have that extra food that you can kind of carry into the mid game after you've made like 100 villagers.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't
mean,
think I don't think he's gonna do it. I think he's just gonna go in his granaries, and I think that's fine as well.
Yeah, I think ABBA doesn't. Well, ABBA has the berries, right? So they don't rely that much on food as China does, especially since they have fresh food stuff as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say with the cheap villagers, the food usually isn't a concern for Abbasid. And I mean, we just kind of see both of them are kind of building their armies. I mean, Crackedy, he has no gold, but he has almost 2,000 food in the bank. And he does have 2 relics. Looks like he's going for his 3rd. So Crackedy's going to secure himself 3 relics. And Divine
Yeah.
should secure 2.
And Crackedy got that one on the south side.
Yeah, I mean, I figured he was going to. The walls didn't cover it, so why not, right?
It's it's sad. But Divine has already got his farming eco up without taking the boars, without taking his second gear pack, without taking his like most of his berries. He's got this full farming eco set up. So I mean, if he can survive, that's gonna put him in a pretty good position.
Yeah, normally I don't like that, but then with how passive both players are being, I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt, right? And granaries are still give you a really nice, what is it, 15%? 10% extra food or something like that? And
Yeah, I think.
it stacks with other granaries, so really it's like 20, 30% for some villagers.
Hmm.
Like there's a solid like 15, 20 villagers that are getting all, are getting, or maybe not 15, but at least 10, 2.
Yeah, and this is exactly the point of the game. Like the point I was talking about earlier with Abbasid. This is the timing where you kind of feel like you have to do something to put yourself in an advantage, because this is the point
Yep.
where China kind of runs out of food, and you're sitting as Abbasid, with a slight advantage.
Yep, I agree with you there. And you can see their stone walls coming out from Crackedy, and Divine was also thinking the same thing. Looks like Divine should be denied, whereas Crackedy's are should go down.
Oh man, yeah, I see that. It's funny. God, we're gonna get like an hour long
I
game
know
with
this is gonna
stone
be a
walls.
long. Oh, hope you didn't have any plans.
No, no, I don't.
By the way, could Crackedy not finish that wall? Because if you look at that right hand side, there's two. It's just an empty. Why didn't he finish that?
I mean, he must not be able to finish it, right? He could kill actually that wall with villages, because you can kill stone walls with units now.
Yeah, I'm guessing
N-
they must not have
Not
been able
teleports
to.
yet.
Yeah, this is trench warfare at its finest.
And Cracky's building 4 rounds in the middle of the map. Gonna do some damage, but I mean, it's tough against China, who gets better siege than you. Sorry, if China has been building siege this entire time. It's gonna be difficult for Crackedy to push him.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And we see more stone walls from Divine on the left. Divine deleting his palisade wall on the right so he can get his own stone wall there.
Yeah, I think something good China pros do. I've been trying to do myself more as I play China more. Is that throughout the entire game you want to keep consistent clock tower siege production, because you used to be able to supervise them, remember?
Yeah,
But now you
yeah.
can't do that. So that's something you need to watch for.
Yeah, definitely a yeah, especially those clock tower springalds. I mean, it's such a big difference. If you can get a lot of clock tower springalds, I mean, it's so hard to fight that because they take 3 shots to kill instead of 2, and the numbers almost always favor. If China's consistent about it, it should be even or favored China in numbers alone. That's not even counting the extra, armor and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a super important thing China should always do. And I mean, Divine gets the keep out now. I mean, this is like a Chinese keep with trying to build some rams. Like, I just don't see that working, like, ever.
Yeah, no, the Rams aren't going to do it. Maybe if they were Imperial, but even then.
Chinese keeps are just so disgusting, man. But uh, I mean, let's see how it goes. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Oh man, we could be in for a long one here. I mean, they're both chilling. I mean, Divine can almost go Imperial Age. And Crackedy, actually, if you look at Crackedy's food eco right now, he's just now getting his farm transition done. And so his food eco's way behind Divine's, whereas Divine's at a 4,000 food bank right now.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the income per minute, 2.3k to 100. I mean, to 1,000. It's a big deal. If Divine can just spam out palace codes and keep the siege, I think he's in a great position.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. And now he's going Imperial Age, and Crackedy just doesn't have the food eco.
Oh my god, is he going Imperial Age with this much res? It's scary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. He's not only hitting Imperial, but he's gonna feel good about it. Although that fight that fight's actually going surprisingly well for Crackedy. Took that fight pretty handily, but here comes reinforcements, more nest of bees.
I mean, it's a good fight for Crackedy for sure, but I just these keeps are just this one keep is gonna kill this entire army. These rams aren't gonna do anything. I mean, it's gonna kill them with relatives.
Yeah, look at Crackedy's gold income, or gold by the way. He has 5.3k in the bank.
That's bad. That's some
Yeah.
mismacro right there. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and Nesta B's doing work. They took out all the crossbows. Crackedy's forced to pull back, and you know, Divine, he's still floating in a decent amount of food. They're both even in supply. And oh, the Imperial Palace. So he's already getting ready to start spamming out those, I'm assuming, Fire Lancers. Although he doesn't have any. Oh, yep, and he's making stables now.
Yeah, I think maybe Crackedy here just doesn't have that much experience in this matchup as Abbasid because I think China should not be this far ahead in Imperial. Like, I mean, his macro is definitely off, and he's trying to push China with Rams. I mean, that's just not gonna work. Like,
Yeah, I agree with you. I think at least how I approach this matchup as Abbasid is I'm very like get to Castle Age and just aggression, but he was so late on his on his aggression in Castle Age that by the time he did it, Divine was already Imperial.
yeah, I think you really need to control the map more as Abbasid, especially against China. Like, maybe keep these gold mines, but I mean, Divine has both big gold mines under his control as well. Like, this is just a sad state to be in for Abbasid.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, that's right. Crackedy only has the one.
Oh,
What?
there's 4 gold mines. Okay,
I was
my
just
bad.
I was just looking. Crackedy. If you look at Crackedy's gold, he has that small mine to the left and that big mine, and then that's it. So he's got about 12k gold left before he's going to be, he'll be out of gold completely.
Yeah, he has the gold mine at the top. I didn't realize there were 4 big gold mines on this map, though. So he does have the one gold mine there, but other
Now,
than that, yeah.
now while he's not struggling for gold at the moment, Crackedy, but that could be an issue later on, depending how long. Because again, as a friendly reminder for those who are just tuning in, there is no trade. You'll notice there's no trade posts. So once gold is out on the map, no one's getting any gold except from relics or sacred sites, or taxes in China's case.
I mean, so how Divine has been Imperial for a good 2 to 3 minutes, while Crackedy here has been in Castle. This is kind of the point where as Divine, I think I want to abuse my Imperial Age units, right? Fight as much as I can.
Yeah, and now Crackedy hits Imperial Age, and he had actually Crackedy. Look at Crackedy's food eco, 3,000 food per minute. So he's got his farm transition complete, and he should be able to start spamming them units.
Yeah, it feels like sort of a missed opportunity for Divine. I think I mean, Divine is such a passive power, so maybe that's just it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. It does feel like Divine was a little too passive, because he had the ego, right? He had more than enough food. But we do see hand cannons starting to come out, more palace guards. I mean, he still has 2 Nesta Bees, and those are no jokes. Like, they destroy even, Springolds.
And the Nesta B upgrade coming in the pop, man. That is, I mean, that's a really good upgrade for China because the current one just reduces your cost, and you have like 6 ones and 6 Nesta Bs in Imperial. You don't care about reducing the cost, right?
That's true, yeah. But yeah, next patch, yeah, I still can't believe that Nesta Bees are getting a buff when they're the strongest, like, area of effect siege in the game, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be very scary to face Nesta Bs in Imperial Age.
And Crackedy is, I mean, you see the flood of units coming in. The one thing I would like to see Divine do is take his Fire Lancers and start raiding. Like, he has more than enough space to start raiding his opponent.
Yeah, he's not doing that, but look at these hand cannons. They're just shredding everything, and Crackedy has no answer to these hand cannons.
Yeah. Yeah, and look at that gold. Remember when he had 6,000 gold in the bank? Well,
Yep.
he's got 1,400 now.
Yeah, that's painful. I think Divine's gonna build the great gatehouse, or is this just stone walls in his face?
No, that's definitely the great... well, wait, Divine doesn't have the food for it, though.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, we see,
Crackedy just doesn't have any answers to these hand cannons. It's so tough to kill Chinese hand cannons, especially if you don't have like a shit ton of units, because they're just so.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we see panic keeps coming up from Crackedy, but we just see units flooding. I mean, we see those walls coming from Divine, but like I say, he doesn't have the food yet, but maybe he's going to save for a minute and just throw it down. I'm not sure, but I think Crackedy's dead here. And, yeah, GG.
Maddock asks, what is he spending food on? He has 3k a min and producing nothing. I mean, he's producing a bunch of units, but those hand cannons are just picking them off one by one by one. You really need to recoup your army, but I mean, he had all of his production at the front of his base. It's very difficult to do that.
Yeah, I think definitely what Crackedy needed to do there was, I think in this matchup, like you said earlier, I think you have to do a castle timing, and it has to be sooner than what happened there. I think just booming like that against China, it doesn't feel like it works out very well.
Yeah. That's why in that matchup I like going Cav, because I feel like in that mid game you need to be active with those Cav and get some picks or something, get some map control.
Yeah, so someone asked, Blade, what is your view on the trade change? Or will your view on trade change with trade trick being fixed? No. I actually feel like the trade change is almost a buff, to be honest. Yeah, you can't do the trade trick and get a full trade in a half way, but you're guaranteed, as long as it touches the neutral market or your home market, you're guaranteed half of what you would have gotten. So it just feels, I don't know, it feels stronger to me almost in some ways. But I also haven't played it with it enough to say for sure. That's just my opinion. I'll tell you this much. If I host any more tournaments after this, I'm probably still going to ban trade. Um, sorry, 1 second. And so that is Divine moving on to the round of 16, which he will be playing tomorrow. Crackedy's moving on to the losers bracket. And Lash versus Matisse, currently game 4. Okay. I mean, if we have more live games, I say let's do it.